opese osuni nua be ma no nti nka medwen se yanka e kan se celebration of life na se ye jai no se wa he nti ka on fa sunu ni she fridge mo se wa ba cho why dove wa block no ba cho on block no ma me why dove ba cho wadaro sa ade na e course no wansu nti sa asem no ko ka kire mpanfo ne se opese o ni nua na ye no so no o se fallacy kofi aye no was a rehearsal nti na medwen se oba da forma minimini me hu se
Aha, Ghana.tv so send any da woni bo channel so me sure say obe subscribe e dia ma me na afin so wa click notification bell no se ba sa na update bia no wona wodi kan a wonsa ebe kan fi show video no so nyina wi ano a kire wadwen e wo comment section no e de amai na mebe ma ye be kenkan e ya no e de ama fefefe kra na ene video bia e trend on social media no eso no bi e na Ghana if yakwakofa ye de e ba be da mo ti ensem rekra na nyina enkwai enko show video yi bi emfa mbra na ye ba ye ba be kire wadwen e de afa ho.
We appreciate you a lot on this platform. For Brempongmaa interview, I would like us to listen, okay? And then hold on.
Me, and I'm not Mama.
Hold on.
Because we touch I'm on quite so what too much. You young could be annoyed. Women living at us now, all and out from what's in the now. Women to what fools are not listening me, and I'm not Yenny Mama. Sunday young Casa because we 2022. It's young Casa, and I mean, be a man about one. I'm being a baby, and I'm in a class of years. When you're mission now was fire the pan. What's it? Fire the pan.
And for say, we are I would go to the ocean, Casablanca now, the Fusu Cas of William and to one man to that is
and I want to make my let me bring you. I give it. See, maybe you make my now. Now, my time I want to work. Now, who is he? Tell me, I suffer with our mother. Where was that person? So I don't know him, and I don't need. Yes.
I was not missing a castle. Yeah, my child, too much.
Too much. And I met there's some voice in your money. Now I bet she shall hear me. Oh, I do not know on TV, so see, and the songs is my own. Now I saw every Brunina. Now I'm funny and you will never want it. And I'm going to life very easy, sir. And yet, he's inside your motor. How far was he ready to check your mind?
I was ready to see. I'm in my back at the right time. Now to push up on your message. This year.
There's another, I think there's another version of it that's a little bit clearer. Let's listen to.
I'm like, now will start fire the pack. Fire the pack.
Go say, Unia said, I would don't say the ocean Casablanca, Confusu Castle, Moya, Yenunka, Yananka Beba. And to one man, tonight, as a woman, what's that? Nanka Confusu.
I want on a quanamiana. And I want a mamma, Jumaya. Maybe a Brunia Juma. I get paid. See, maybe you make Jumano. Now, in my time, I will know pay. Now, we see. Some money has suffered with our mother. Where was that person?
Yes.
So I don't know him.
And
I don't know why.
Ma, pour your heart. Can you help me a go?
I was a machine. I can't say, yeah, man, shall be too much.
Exclusive interview and no more.
Now, I bet she said, yeah, ma'am. Oh, I do not know TV, so see, and the songs is by a young near you. Now I saw everybody in a drum one hour back. Now, I knew when Yaman were wanted. And I'm going to life easy to say.
Let me one.
And yet, you said I'm not trying. I want to see the teacher, my.
Abusha, they didn't be free. I mean, my Becca at the right time. Yanko Shira Mononia Mokese.
Maya Michelle.
I'm coming to I'm marking you.
Oh, my
Jamaican. At the right time, you're better to us. I have to.
Maya Michelle.
Sabi ma, Rebecca Salita. Rebecca Salita. We say, "For can't ma me."
I shall watch it.
Me no mo so na ye.
Come on, you know, young control.
I'm sure now will start fire the
Nanaima.
Sorry, Mama, Mindy Memani Kaina with your master. It goes back to Asemna Meka about rebellion. One say, Onakasan so she mentions something, say me knew. Me say desperation, no, we are desperate, we thinking, we critical mind, reasoning ability, and yajuma. You talk anyhow, the obibe can be ana with the echre. Inti ebe no, now we find our fast out of desperation. What did why your mistakes be brio which or say me menye. Secondly, no, no ye na juma wa abrochi odi aketua no. Ono ebusia penny na betre na da onombra number ye yana because she could not acknowledge his authority. On person accepted the authority ebusia penny wo as family head ono ena ebetibi akase bia yenye date say. Meanwhile, around that same time, no, court no ahemfo no date omuma for a year around that time, no. It was just a week apart from the 13th, I think 6th or BB. You agreed. Okwa na one papa shi ya ekochi tuban. And I was saying by and I will say, Mose monti ase na nkwala no e school obi ni passport. Omu ni na omamba, ewi nkwala namba. Match ya yewo mu ya omu ni school obaye passport renewal ni ade no eno kura mo na ndra ye hu akwala ba kokura wo wi. It comes back to rebellion, and then there is something about Mami Akosua Serwaa Daddy Lumba. One disadvantage of before you ha with obema worry about when you change wono. Ya na me few years experience we ase no. Mema few minimum be worry about when you change no unless the man has a higher income than the woman. If the woman is doing better than you are, they tend to ebimo feel say o pesa o ye no say o ye wo ba ana unu aketwa. A natural be a trait be a every wo ba ni mu ba. Until you tend to want to control the man. So Lumba was dealing with these two Akosua characters. Baku, the big sister who sold me TV or the piame ewa brutri. Because of TV now, the supporting and she feels entitled to whatever obeja from Abuchi. But also your banner Michiana when you tell me, I know I worry Bruni or no I will cry and buy a penny dana or no nasana at a point, or supporting me or supporting me or her, he was dealing with these two women. So who studied that Lumba Subayaba said he was not a lazy man. He got up to work with his gift and he earned from his gift. If you're a woman and you settle with such a man, I will bet you control no the very short period now. That's the time I bet you control. A beer now be or train be or yes, madam, and you think you are in control. When he starts earning his money, you can't control him anymore because naturally in a member ego no, it does not permit them to submit to women. Submission is for women. A member there is to love. And if you're a woman, are you a woman? You don't have any business with falling in love. Your only business is submission. Falling in love and leave it for the men. If you exchange it, now falling in love, now we expect submission from Bema, a error. Into Lumba started do say or any on one sikano. Then he became rebellious. Once I said the egoistic nature of him as a man no and no man started you say oni oba we da oni ne nanfofo we da because sa rebellion na Akosua Serwaa exhibit CCR with the legal judiciary system no or yes koye kuna wanye mamu bunche ye court and the data wanye no that's the character. It is the character that she was living with Lumba no and Lumba is not here to tell his side of the story, but we can put 2 + 2 together and see say this is how this woman was. And Sa Apahano Nya initially said, if you watch the last time there was a video about Lumba, I think Ahintasemtv or something, one of the songs with one of these artists. If you watch that Lumba in the studio, and then you watch Akosua Serwaa now, also be in your opinion. Inti no a bedroom baby na asena Lumba jina ne nine so no. I feel the rebellion, no go for bawa, no for bawa. Then she started feeling like or disrespecting no. That was when also feel say, oh Lucy Lumba. So Lumba just had to leave that whole whatever impact she had made, and that is the reason I think say Lumba left that studio in Germany. Because the terms and conditions that came with that studio, the equipment in the studio and the sound systems and whatever, no matter how costly they were, they came with the fact that he had to trade his ego as a man to submit to a woman. It is a woman who make him say a woman who am executive producer and I will be a studio mamia me jaho. I'm going to start life all over in Ghana. It's when he came now, be she or no yes submissive no. I'm not take her. It's a make herself when he met Odo Bruni and he found a Muslim Lumba will be Odo Bruni down for being beam. You think he was not getting advances from women? He was. Lumba study nyom to ne kara onya be ma no ye basabasa o but this woman mami we on na ma Lumba be yesa inti ade na Akosua Serwaa de ye na Brempongmaa so de ye because of her role in his life so supporting the kakra and ma ye pesa ade no oba support o kakra no person control or support o kakra o de ma be ma o hwefie for 10 years wa hwefie constantly but no ho 2 months and 3 months. Ubehu say, wo ba no sika krafe de do be o budi biem. Inti Brempongmaa so thought to say menua no because of Asante 4 more system na ye di wo fa ade ne ade no. Ohu ne ho say ono ne ma na e ba be di Lumba ade. So she also wanted to control Lumba, control his assets, control the bibia. Eda ade no owo no ba e chi no e ho na nka na o pe chance no. And I think say Lumba realized their characters into your free Germany, yes, he ninya de obetimi na ye fine, but okate ties with mame no. Enu nti na Ghana na ope baby ada ne babe man ne be friend papa say da ma Ghana na nkoso ye fa na obetimi ada obenya baby ada na. He's a wise man. He okate communication with the woman. But the sister dey on ne communicate. But Brempongmaa dream no be do of idea mema and eba be di Lumba de. Me na me to TV man. And I think say Lumba genuinely loved ne sister no. Nti e bia no ne bon komo a lot but a time be drew ya Lumba be the sister ni subai. Nti that was when I feel the way ba wie no who said no. Say small girl we am friend small girl now one exhibit a lot of maturity more than their winning Lumba nanka sample no. Who said nya ade asakola we be nya ne ho kwan. Nti ma mene se wankoye baako. Mene se wankoye baako ne ye ne ntwe. Nti that is the game they are playing now. And if you listen to Akosua Brempongmaa, you can sense the hate, you can sense the disappointment at the same time. Because they are not going to have their way. But let's bring mommy.
Aiwa, nyame nhyira wo pa, nyame nhyira wo. Nana, enema miensa. Stop here. Enema isi so now we are going through challenges. Let's not make decision. When you find yourself in a temporal spot, don't make permanent decisions. I mean, can it be a moment? When you find yourself in a temporal pointer, do not make a permanent decision. Anaima adi we komre nyina no. Me as a man, me who say a quantum deal never liked it. And because he never liked it, no, utu kwanya omo matna wache no, ene chire onyoma. And the man ye hu pa ne say ukonyo oba watna wache kakra wonim nyoma. Because of your vulnerability, that person becomes somebody I would die no. And sad I would die no. And one nipa ne be boa no, or hold that thing on your head forever. And nunti dear ninsa ebe subi ewa quantum no. Na no kribi anadi wana shasiye. Nti forever in his mind obu ne se mido wunti sisi ade yenko fie nko ware. Watuni burunyi na tie de. Base burunyi ni free wa ni aware. That could have been the plan. But brunyini free hono na deal abeye deal. A chain nipa no we revolve, we evolve. Na ye evolvement no. Se atade a wo hye ne next while. Unsenya kasika bi emu dronim de osesa first. E on tade. Eno titi ara ho semo. Ni frenia na ni afra 20 years. Ukutapoma. Sawa poma na de no ko ba bia o. Oko crusade na ye bompa na ni ti se kima onim de ototwene first. But o de be na ototwene.
Pomano. The help na ade aboa na mana na ante for a long time.
Pomano. Onim ni ntra. When I was blind, I needed the poma. But so when it be the poma becomes useless. But so we be a who person we be the poma be see. Now I kai say and nam poma we and a boa me. So hell, and even a deal, yeah. Poma no one to anchene. But poma no so amre no hwase amone na ntena fie. Nti poma no pam deal so onko. Yes sir. Wa boa de. But aye ya ne senka won saka no. Wan kasa no wa pia eden ato atwene. So hell. It's just an unfortunate situation. Na arahuseme womniye. So hell. We shouldn't force people out when you feel like you are better than them because obi nim or brempong ashase. So hell. Se deal na omo pam na si abonte no munim so ba be yesi anka they never would have done that to that man. So hell. Asase a wugina so enye the same. So hell. Obitimi tena tamale onyahwe. But oba akra ade obenya no wakra no wa wotena tamale wontimi nya bida. Enunti Germany eboa Lumba. Ya papa. But the blessing obenya no Ghana no was 100 times better than Germany. Enunti nipa opam deal free Germany no. I chiri no mbete se afama no. But enam wa wonum ne wonsem kekanti no. You couldn't apologize. You became very prideful. So why our folk go through these phases. So why the expectation of a 20-year-old man, somebody in his 20s, and yet the same as somebody in his 30s. The 20s, are very youthful, and the youthful exuberance, a kick in. Now in the 30s, no mass will be there until they begin to look for a brabomunioma. In the 40s, the person wants stability. Nduko worry will be all 40 years now or 20 years. More expectations are different. Papa no pebema oba oju obi timene natena. But akura no so nim se wanya panyi bia wo ska oboa no. But akura no bedru 30s no timi ono ani sika. Afede panyi ne mu ano ohia biem. Eno na course. So right. Mami Akosua Serwaa, I can say it and say it on your platform. pe enkoma yete yese in the last days no o catch the deal say oh you're sorry no eya na me raho until we can be very egoistic and very prideful for very long years, and at the end of the day with that years na why you know what to the krata barana say for you want to turn around. The men you see today in the next 10 years will not be the same men. Timidi Mami Akosua Serwaa painful was in your mocha. The way you lay your bed. When I will lay bed, no. It's all them. Now, the ama me rekura on his sister. She had a very nice opportunity. Say, ukunawu. One o makasa. Obana oti fie hona oye ukunu yere no. Ne buwa mfu. Se bra. Sister why uba fie hono. You had a mediator. Aye mami a champon. And then the kasa ye mani peja will say yanko dem unko kasa. Sister why it was the best opportunity. Will push you to stay on the same pedestal. Until the recognition, the respect, the blessings that came with being affiliated with that Lumba. Niyere odobronya put you on that pedestal. Sorry, me can send you as a nyoma 4. Okay. It's a greed, enviness, jealousy, and anger. Omi ya niafu bom papa eye bayi. Sa nyoma 4 we. Sorry. After that, you know, because say wosi abusuapanyina kofri obi asew. Sa nipa na mpam wa mfiri ne fie. Nka se opam ne kunu. Oba se be manya sumdwe wo ho a. Ne ex de omde aye ne bi obeka kire. Because you become the trust. Nti de course wo Germany nyina ya papa Lumba aka ni nyina kire odobronyi. But wamfa sa bufu ne yawo no antitiu anyhow. Sarayo. Jame kwaya na usame. Jame kwaya na usame. Mami Akosua Serwaa the only dead Lumba yere mami odobronyi jina the same pedestal. But nyobi ne kuma ntwina ye kano. Whatever is happening to the woman, your no ankasa ne wishes. And some of us, we don't even have emotions towards it. Because you been at the court, one at the court. Or no one I knew bushing opinion and number be. Or no one I'm a bushing for my year. Or no one I'm a bushing for uncle, yes, ye dear. No one I'm a bushing for uncle, ye be. There was nothing on it that stopped Mami Akosua Serwaa from coming to Lumba here. Jono the Akosua no yo no. Mami come and Brempongmaa. Akosua Serwaa book ne the radio. On the book ne I read the crowd that yeah, Lumba and some Nichemu. That's why the character Mami Brempongmaa. So why so what ton TV do near 2 kwanya? Nana hema fa ho nti mem fa ho sesia. TV na wo do near 2 kwan no. Ye misa se ho na de ono so 2 kwan. Deal kura no do kwan no kura so asan baga na. But wo na wo tia kwantum wo ye bronya adwuma bacho deal ye bronya adwuma. Onye bronya adwuma. Nti se wo abrabo bia wo se wo bo akwantum a you have the opportunity, you have the legal wo bibia se obeye because ye bronya adwuma kura. Na onu nua ne kasa wo fon so. Star right. Se deal ene se de ye kan wote a de ni nua ba yi tawel ne rebe ho brutal because obi a hono ne kasa 3 days time wo ne yire frɛ back to back ne yire frɛ akuma prekope na utimi do this 360 you say unim wakasa tie abusuapanyin relationship de me nse papa de beche no ye de Lumba ba krato enti nkura no omhu se omo maame preko pe omo soa enne sa nkura no hu a you be very careful Sister Rahel, because to the extent say utimi catch omo say omo maame mpo come on man, e ma wochema man ti say mema ti for oba unim se maame ono unua na te ho ne ma uye shopping kura de bre wo mo na because of one kasa de opese uye 360. So what would you think so do bronye will feel? And how Ghana would you say obey? Media to me, in interview no wakasa 4 times na mama from ansana na him album. The first one or say opeso ye ni nua na yie. Na ni nua na yie ne de eso ye. So eno na yin say ye twan so be ye yie no. 2 da oko Germany omu bisa ne say na se ne yire na kuma aba za wote asem o kan o se ajapade ne sansem ne de na yire no mo de o eno ja ye hokoye na no ba ni enim say okopa chow na esi aka bom Sister Rahel o se ye mma no kwan na onye den onsu. Sorry, Mpacho, underlying word. Program na course na no Mpacho. Usun Lumba.
Osu idea me dem but me dem minjin this osu that.
The purpose of say okọ Rahel ho no me na asefo ni nyina ne say opese osu ni nua be ma no. Nti nka me dwen say yanka e kan say celebration of life na say ye jai no. Say Rahel. Nti ka on fa su ni she free mo. Esa wa mbacho why dove wa blocking no mbacho on blocking no mama why dove mbacho badaro sa ade na e course no wansu enti sa asem no ko ka kire mpanfo ne se opeso ni nua na ye no su no o se fallacy kofia ye no was a rehearsal enti na me dwen say obeda forma minimini me hu say we your first attempt we hit or this hit ne ba deal program na se mahuhwe na eno confirm say it was an agenda eno ema me di ne ho yaw because enye su na adodode na wo pa enka maam Akosua Serwaa celebration ko anka o ma because a court injunction atoso a na eye wunua dia everything revolves around you enye maam Akosua Serwaa because wo na wo yes Sister Rahel ya bo nyom na oto ne nsa na osa eno ma me hu say na enye nokre na saa asem na okan na de akamu a ebe hu ebe start o chena nso ne say why do wombe unlock you de ama na yehu ne say o si omunkotu ne nua no Sister Rahel no so bebo aba ena ne da nchen na enne video na wo boy na ma me ra ho na hima ka ni nyina e wo but Sister Rahel obi a yes celebration of life. What has abusuapanyin got to do with this? What has that Lumba got to do with this? DL and Sema will be canon program ya see no. Any DL celebration, any DL 1 year, any DL I don't know she able DL leading to the over kind. And no mommy who said she's in agony. She's seriously in a bitter state. Na wama ye hu se enioma ewo no mu yawa wodi no se wa bokagu because no dream said the attention will be around her but yet dane ne ko Mama Akosua Serwaa no that means that you have no business in it and bibia no you have nothing because the program is for Mama Akosua Serwaa tie we here nti aye we awie Sister Rahel is she going to come back so be celebrate the alana ano be ka kire yebiem say nyame adoma 1 week odobronye die dru ha 1 year time obeba. You don't burn bridges. This woman has caused a lot and I leave it nana hema kan nyina nti
All right. Ms. Alex Mepacho, I also like to come in when it comes to the audio Mami Brempongmaa. Mami Brempongmaa audio now, and as an interview, one of the things she actually said that really got me is the fact that she actually said, Oye busiapeni akwa ana, and that busiapeni na ebe shed date. Or cancer abontinsuni, she actually used a very, very, very deep word. Say, or non a strong word. Thank you, that's the right word. Ono na oba beshe no ye obroni ejuma enti ono na oba beshe seat na amano na se okọ na ye yinedia mpacho me pese me bisa say on the seat na ye share no to even the 13th na ye see that Lumba no na ma me Brempongmaa wo Germany na se na o Ghana. No, I'm just asking. Na ma me Brempongmaa looking at it, time I started call court. Ma me Brempongmaa call court till see ye call court we. On the seat na ye share na she was actually singing say oye broni ejuma, and that say it was happening about be shade data man na or corner ye ne what have you no, but on the seat right down to the 13th no na ma me Brempongmaa wo Ghana na say na o Germany. Clearly she was in Ghana. And what is she talking about? At the end of the day, a year no, is it about busiapeni? And now it's about brother. A year wuni yankasa as unini free yefunu ba komono. Or no, and a year no is about and I say it's about a busiapeni. I don't understand. And come to think of it, so say now what is a wunia yesien on the 13th. Mepa mocho, according to everything that we have heard on social media, the 1 week celebration now, Ebusiapeni DNM candidate, she was okay in date almost share, she was able to come to Ghana. It was the same 1 week, and almost share say on they will either do a on the 6th or on the 13th. The only difference was that probably they couldn't even decide on the date, but these 2 dates were assured when they had a meeting. Say these 2 days, which some meeting now almost decide these 2 dates not only present, including their spokesperson, which was Papa She and then Jiga and all the other people. They were all present in this particular meeting. And so you knew, say most definitely ambaso on the seat, ebebaso on the 13th. These were the 2 dates almost share. And she said, even if you are not okay with the seat in the crown puna, what about Ahinfo no 13th date no almost share? And also, so no, what did you also come to say about Ebusiafo? If truly the whole thing was about Ebusiapeni setting the seat no date no na ma me ne bonus so 13th no so Ahinfo ne so share no so what happened? So clearly it tells you say this thing is not about Ebusiapeni setting a date on the seat and because on that seat you are in Ghana 13th no krana na yesi ni nua bema na nkasa ye di ni nua bema na ehye form no. She was in Ghana, so what is Mami Brempongmaa talking about?
It's 13th no. 6th no. Say na yesi Papa She ne kotie mu. Almost spokesperson. Now, to add something to the Alex, Akosua Serwaa said that the Lumba. She belittled him. She made him feel less of a man. Because anytime I will buy you take Bema through that thing now, forget it. Obejao. She created a certain image of Lumba to the Germany community, I think. They got to a time, I believe, say na Lumba crown to mean pejanity crown Germany. On to mean pejanity, he will lose his confidence as a man because she kept embarrassing him all around. And so statement na Alex make here say, no munim say, or Lumba beba Ghana no be ye nka wan pamna manamba. So obey ye don, it became a surprise to all the people now was saying na it is the repercussion of that surprise now is only Lumba townful na kwaye bako. Those who thought nothing good can come out of him. Those she painted pictures to say, oh, you're womanizer. Those she painted pictures to say, they made that on a tenant, and the landlord we buy a say just to make it look like, oh yeah, or no, yeah, na Lumba no no. And they couldn't find their way back into the neno on your money na ya back. If you look at Papa She in the picture, who was Papa She to Daddy Lumba? Nobody important. Who are suddenly no, or no na it's at the center of affairs. When he started showing up, he was showing up as Brempongmaa rep rather. Before I realized, it was now all about Akosua Serwaa. And I insist, say, no, as a woman, no, I see beyond just touching her in the public. I insist. There's an agenda. And see, everybody will try to play the other person. But at the end of the day, will be so Obama peace of mind with the woman of flourishing. That was what happened to Odo Bruni. Fortunately for Lumba, no, he got Obana on one case on Sroye. I was saying kuta kumapa. Inti yes, ubi bia ekoso, and then the age gap and the fact that she respected him and all that, no. And no cry na ma papa no otimi nyinche because in kasa ade na ye no jane she yanum fo winsan kam ye sure so mom yi ni free watch. Into all these things, that is what they are doing now. Lumba townful. And Oma Beye Akosua Serwaa adofo. And I say ne affiliates. Who does that? If you loved the man, you have children with him, he has properties, say bibeba o maho or ye the papa da we are say hang go hang come. Even when you are taking care of a man, and I say wo show be ono so ye bibi ma ope. And you no anka ye wine anymore. Wine anymore. And now what done celebrity by force. Sa celebrity a day we also tells us she's always been in competition with Lumba. She has always been in competition with him. Sorry, what muting?
Sasama walking Emma Medrin say. So now come on, Brempongmaa say coming to Ghana with that Lumba no comes with this kind of fame, this kind of love, and then also no comes with this form of connections and money. And cause she will leave everything and come. See now or back Ghana now whom the love people have for that Lumba are a bit transcended to her. And I say kakre canon. Look at how often she's coming to Ghana. Than the time Nana that Lumba here is so back.
And that is why they can't stand Odo Bruni. They can't stand her because when they all left Lumba in her care, she became his best friend. Omuni na omuja Lumba no ono akwala no amofre no akwala no abaywa no akwala no ono na be Lumba best friend. In that time no assembly ati say one opening bi share no he was sharing with her. Na say Bema power sem to a certain extent that I'm telling you he cut ties with the outside world. And Lumba did that. Edu baby he was not about friends. Say remember so as they grow no they want a perceptions, and then he saw Yare. He was just a typical family man, very family oriented. Unfortunately, Oba Fesa or yes, on Warren had already had a child and all that, and I'm going to Munsem or Buano near dear, but a very family oriented man. And if he left Germany saying he wanted more kids, it also means to say Kolana cry be or Germany crana. All man crown on and training him the way he wants, and I said, oh, no, also control. So he just wanted to be his own man. And Obai, and I am yadum. into other boni be ni bibia, and that is where they missed it. Into now your target, no. They don't know how it happened. Yes, uncle, yes, the uncle, there's a song like this. Yeah, Jana Quine say uncle. And because he had a good heart, I think, and all that, Nyankopon just brought this little angel to just bring him life, longevity. I just said, be a short and normal calculating you, and then no more start calculating year after year. Na a year mo fly, year after year, na year mo fly. Into assembly CV and the end, your mama yan cambum na ye triple pona yesu for years no. Yan bring it into fruition. But you see, Lumba is a wise man. He introduced Odobroni to all the people that matter. All the people that matter in this country, he introduced her to them. From both political parties. Say only why people will stand for her. Because he knew at a time like this would come.
Looking at everything that is happening, Esenka, that Lumba introduced you Odobroni, and there are no videos to back Omo Union no, and that were introducing no, like we are seeing it. Seriously, I don't know what would have become of that lady, because even when it is so glaring in our eyes, even when everybody knows that Lumba goes everywhere with this lady, he has children with her, and that baby they portray husband and wife, no, and that we're introducing it to everybody. Look at how she's being treated now. And see, just look at it, say, Anka, that nobody needs say, and I say, Ebia, he felt so okay. Because of situations, and you know, what exposing her. Then I don't know what would have become of that lady as at now.
Sorry, I see Lumba took his time. At a point, I'm sure say he had a deep reflection about life and his situations, SCC over the period, and he just realized, say, no, Charlie, this is the only person who is mine. Say we ask no, you be my way dear like or ya. So this is the only person I find solace in, I can trust, I can that is why they want to paint a certain picture, say Wokuno. They are looking for something to tie her down. Because they don't even believe it, say a younger girl like that could fall in love with a man like that. Charlie, but Emma there, when it comes to Odansama, it's a whole lot of things, a whole lot of factors. And he cut them off and all that because Obehumo Obia Subain for who they really are. Ya real time no Emma Obia be ni Subain treno. Ahuchemu and I reme hona wumu adofo ankasa. So Lumba had the opportunity for years to know the people who were really for him and those against him. And that is why Obe trustee Akwalano. And me say the day that woman will open her mouth, so Obe Kasana. Ghana, her young mom said she will never open her mouth. Because she knows too much. And I'm sure she will back all of them with evidence. She knows too much. And they should even thank their stars to say they got an in-law like Odobroni, Brempongmaa especially. Nanka Obe fam krum nkreni anka buden chobana. And also the omo or boot for booter. And Kagana Bayede. But Omunda Nyamia says she's not that type. So we pray say Nyankopon and Akosua and Kranona or Ninema. No one did not the and God will continue to be her defender. Sorry, you're mute.
Okay. Mr. Alex, I think said there are a lot of other videos that I wanted us to have discussions on, but I'm sure with time, gradually people will get to know the truth. They'll get to know Obia true colors. Both women, the family, and everything. Gradually, we are getting to see them as their actions and inactions. No, I'm sure it's speaking to all of us. And with time, we'll get to see as things unfold. And then Obia behu bebia no kreneda Obia behu sabi. Obian Susubain, any enema or madanedi so far. Okay. Let me just pick a few people to come in, and then the other videos we'll go into it. But you see, there's one thing I also like to say. We have seen that Lumba how it went. We have seen the media right from the one who's gonna make our platform was to say they should allow them to do this celebration of life, and then you be team, and it has shown. In fact, Enyama adedi ama yehu said Enyama echo. Say echo ye or say whatever it is. We have all seen it. Okay, we have all seen it. We all thought the celebration of life was something. Personally, what I was expecting,